Hey guys, today we are installing landscape moon lighting. Wow, that's so magical. And you might wonder, what is that? And why would you do that instead of using, say, path lights to light up a large area? Let me tell you why. So if you have a large property and you're looking at ways to light up, say, a driveway or maybe just a big swath of land, of course you could put path lights along the side of the driveway, or there's a lot of different types of lights that you can use. But the reason we want to go with moonlighting in particular is you go high up into the trees, you give that moonlight effect. Some people like to use a cooler Kelvin too to get that more moon-like look. We're sticking with the 2700 because my husband still likes that warmer color. But the idea is to put the light higher in the trees so that by the time it hits the driveway, it's very soft and glowy. It's a very different look than, say, having a bunch of path lights lined out every 10 feet or so. Also, lighting fixtures are expensive. You would need a ton of path lighting to light up this area. Of course, there's a few different ways you can light something, but I think that doing a moonlighting effect in large swaths of space like this is a really good idea, because we can use 1, 2, 3 lights to completely light up this whole area. Now, ideally, you want to go at least 20 feet up in the air. Hopefully 25 if you can. We went 30 feet because we had the space. Now, the higher you go, the softer the glow, and that's why you don't want to do it at like 10 feet if you can help it with this light fixture that we're using in particular. So one of the things I did to prepare for our moonlighting is I had the trees limbed up. So you can see we have a lot of firs, we have pines, and we also have some oaks in this area. The pines and the firs are by far the best because after a while they just end up having those widowmakers or those dead dying branches that we went ahead and cut off. So you have basically a giant pole in the yard. And the idea with the moonlighting is to have it high enough that it can shine down without being overly obstructed. So the oak tree wouldn't be as good for the moonlighting unless you had like a clear shot, but these pines, these spruces are excellent because I can go all the way up without having that light interfered a ton high up. All right, so for this lighting project in particular, we are using FX Luminaire's transformer, and this is the Luxor. It's pretty much the cream of the crop when it comes to transformers for landscape lighting in terms of customability, that's not the word, customization. And you can change the colors, you can change the dimness. So in order to do that, you need to make sure that the lights that you buy are dimmable and color changing. We didn't go with color changing, we just have dimmable lights, but by having this transformer, we have 250 different groups that we can create for all the lights on the property. So we're actually assigning each individual light its own group, except for the path lights, which we're going to put all in one group, if that makes sense. Let me know if you have questions below. This right here is for the Wi-Fi, so that we can work this remotely. And then this is for this satellite transformer that we have on the garage. So this is the main one, and then we have a satellite one. So that way we don't need to run all of our wires throughout this whole property, which is a pretty long run to different spaces. So it's a way to shorten your runs as well as get more lights on a station. All right, for this project in particular, I also got a landscape lighting plan. Now, as a landscape contractor, we install lighting all the time. However, this was a little bit more complex. We had so many different fixtures, and actually they'll provide the design for free if you have a minimum order. So as you can see in these plans in particular, we had a ton of lights here. We ended up reducing it by about a third, or we're only putting in about a third, mostly for cost reasons, but I'm really excited for it. And I actually think I'll prefer less lights than more lights on this project, just because it is very natural out here. We just want accent lightings and not over the top, although it would look super cool if we went over the top, but I feel like it'd be just too much light for this location. So you guys will notice that we have a bunch of numbers and we highlighted our lights. This was just to make it easier. So for example, these are our up lights, which are the XA70 from FX Luminaire. These are big beasts, but we assigned a number to each of these. So each of these lights will have its own group. This will be group 34, this was group 33. We started at 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. And this will allow us to use the transformer over here or use the app on our phone to dim those individually so we can really customize it as we want to. If you wanted to simplify it all together, you could put all of the up lights or down lights in one group and dim them all at the same time. But if you have the time and the need and maybe the interest, you definitely can separate them, and that will give you the most customizable lighting plan And I think for good reason, because some trees are taller than others, some have different features. So for us, we wanted to separate them. And again, we have 250 different stations to do that. All right, this is what we are using for our uplights. So these will sit on the ground and shine up on the canopy of the tree because our tree canopies are so tall. This is a very big light. Let me show you. Look at that beast. Woo! This is the moonlight that we are putting up into the tree. Pretty long sheath. That's important. And then we're also using these tree boxes. All right, so this is what we're using for the moonlight. It's a DE light from FX Luminaire. It has a really long sheath. It's quite a large light. It's a 9 LED, and then we're also using this tree box here. Now we're only using one on this tree box here, but you could actually stick 2 lights in there if you wanted, which we did for one of our applications on the tree. This is the bronze color, which I think is quite beautiful. Now, this has a really long lead wire, so you could run that lead wire down the tree, but we're going pretty tall, and because we have so many squirrels and other things, I just don't want to risk them chewing through a thinner wire. So I went ahead and put the 12-2 all the way up the tree. So instead of using the wire that it came with, I snipped it off after about 6 inches or so, and then we went ahead and used the 12-2, and it's tucked into our tree box here. So you can buy these separately. That's where the wire goes in. You pop off the back. That's where all your connections go. It is sealed off, so you could use the included wire nuts if you want. These are the screws that go into the tree, and you want them to be about 1 inch outstanding. From here to here is into the tree, and from here to here is open, and that's going to allow the tree's bark to grow and the tree just to grow in general. All right, so for another one of our downlight applications, we're going to use the JB. This is a 3 LED, and that's the bronze. That's what I'm using on everything here because it blends in. It's probably the most popular color. Now it comes with this mount on the end, so you could use wood screws to tie it into anything, but we don't need this because we're going to use the tree mount. And then this, again, we're going to put up in the tree, and we're going to angle pretty much straight down, and we're going to create a nice light glow. We're trying to go 25 to 30 feet up, and that's going to give us a nice illumination. This is not going to be nearly as strong as the DE that we have, but we actually want a little bit less of an effect in this area by the house, or a little bit lighter. And just to clarify, we're not going straight down like this. We can angle this. We have some adjustments here. We want to go a little bit out, but you want to be closer than you might think versus out like this, because this is going to create more glare and more visual. You want to keep your eyes blocked from it. That laser's pretty cool. All right, this is B-roll of us using a laser to find where the light is going to be centered. My tree box. Put it up this way for 1 light, this way for 2 light. We have the DE, but you can use any directional downlight for this application. We have our zip ties, our crimping tool, my strippers, the 12-2 wire, the heat shrinks, tree screws, and the laser. All right, we're gonna start running our wire, and we're going to use a 10-2. Usually you use a 12-2, but because we're doing some longer runs, I went ahead and upgraded that, and we're going to go underneath the deck. We're going to run it all along the base of the house. We're going to collect this whole side of the yard with this 10-2-1, and we haven't decided how far we're going to go, but we'll at least have a handful of lights on this one. I think I'm going to have to get on my stomach to get down here. So he's using stainless steel screws, leaving about 1/2 inch to 1 inch or so, and that's going to allow for growth of the tree or excessive bark over time. And for something like this, you want to do it every 5 to 10 feet. You could do it more if you want, but we got a lot of trees we're working on, so we're doing 5 to 10. This just keeps the cable from going crazy. It's not as big of a deal with the 12-2 because it's heavier and gravity's going to do its work, but if you're using like a smaller landscape wire, the ones that come with the light, sometimes they're a little more squirrely. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, now that it's dusk, we are testing out a bunch of our different lights just to see if we like the different positioning. We might move them around, but it's exciting to finally turn them on. I love it.
The lights are still.
Oh, great. It's a little hard to show before and afters with landscape lighting sometimes because the before is just black, and then when you turn on the lights you can see what we're illuminating, but you're still kind of missing some of the essence of the space. It doesn't translate to video all the time, but adding these lights has been a big changer for us because if you come home late at night, now you'll know if there's a bear walking down the driveway, which we get a few times a week, or a mountain lion, which would be a little scarier. Anyways, I absolutely love how these turned out. We'll continue to tune them and dim them and change them as we live in this space, but I absolutely love how they turned out. As always, thank you guys so much for watching my channel. If you're not subscribed yet, please consider it, and then go ahead and leave any comments or questions you might have below. Ciao!